Welcome to FTx Academy. In this video, we'll be getting your POS set up and running. During this step, our IT specialist would run the remote installation of our POS on your machine. But before they do, let's take a look inside and give you the rundown of your new point of sale system. All of the POS panels on your device are completely customizable to your business, so your device will likely look different than the panels you see in these training videos as we demonstrate the different functionality. Please take some time to dive into our full POS and cashier training courses. Be sure to remember this section for later and follow these videos for more training content when we roll out new features. After you get logged into your new POS, you'll be presented with the dashboard. On the left-hand side, you will see your Open POS button, which will take you directly to your POS screen, where you're able to take transactions and ring out customers. Beneath that, you have your Actions button. This takes us to the various different functions of the POS as well as the settings. And lastly, we have the Log Off button, which does exactly as it says, it will log you off. In the box to the top left, we have our time clock. If you are clocked in, you can view the details of your clock in, which will show you the last time you clocked in and clocked out. On the right side of that, you have your Clock In button if you have not clocked in, or if you are clocked in, that will change to a Clock Out button. Underneath that, we have View My Schedule. That will show you the schedule assigned to your employee login for the current week. Beneath the time clock, we have the Current To-Dos. This will show us all of the to-dos that are listed for your location and allows you to complete them from the page here. Lastly, to the right side, we have our Messages window. This will show us all of the messages sent between the stores and corporate if they are viewable here at this location. On the bottom left side, we have the View button. So we highlight one of the messages, and then we click the View button, which will bring us to a pop-up of the message itself. Additionally, if you have the permissions and would like to the right side of the View button is your Create. Once you click that, it will take you to a pop-up where you are able to enter the subject and the message and choose whether it is viewed publicly or privately. And then you're able to type out the message and send it. Additionally, you can send it to everybody or a specific user that is listed within your company. Lastly, we have the Delete button. Pretty self-explanatory here, but this allows you to delete the messages from the message box. In the Actions tab of your POS, we have our Reconciliation button. This is where you go to perform your shift reconciliation, and if you're a manager, your daily reconciliation. Keep in mind, this is also dependent on your permissions set up for your employee login. The next button is your Data Synchronization button. This button does not depend on your permissions and will always be present inside of the Actions button. This button allows you to synchronize all of the changes that are made from Control Center down to the POS if they were not automatically synced. The next button is your cycle counts. This allows you to start and review your cycle counts from the POS if you have the necessary permissions. Next is your Inventory button. This allows you to actually view your inventory, once again, provided you have the necessary permissions. Next is your Receiving. This allows you to create and view your different invoices, provided your employee has the permissions. Next is your Manage Lottery Games. This button takes you to your lottery games and allows you to assign your bin numbers to those games, which will be unique to each game per store. Next button is Re-Register Fingerprint. If you have a biometric reader on your POS, this allows you to reassign your fingerprint to a login. Next is your Settings. Pretty self-explanatory. This opens up the list of settings that are local to your POS and allows you to change them there, provided you have the necessary permissions. And lastly is your POS Training Mode. Kind of self-explanatory there, but pulls up a mock version of the POS so that you can train your cashiers without actually impacting your sales or inventory. For this example though, we're going to click the Return Home button, and we're going to open up our POS. Once again, to reiterate, our POS panels may look different than your POS panels. That is because all of the POS panels and buttons are fully customizable to suit your business needs. In this example, this is our POS panel. All of the buttons here are pretty self-explanatory, but if we type in the one, PLU. This is our age verification screen, which if you have an age-gated item, you will see this often and requires the cashier to view the customer's ID and input their birth date. During age verification, you can visually verify the customer's age. You can view their ID and manually type in their birth date. Or you can take their ID and scan it with your barcode scanner, and that will fill out the information necessary to verify the age. As long as the age is verified in the POS, it'll take you to the next step, which here we can see that my sandwich has been added to the transaction, and I have a cash discount of 60 cents applied. If I hit my subtotal, now on the subtotal screen, this is where we have a list of all of our tender buttons. Depending on the tender that the customer is using to pay for the transaction, we will select the necessary tender. So for this example, we're going to use cash. If you click the cash button straight out, then it applies the exact amount as cash. And we just performed our first sale. And that has been a brief overview of your new POS software. Once again, our POS panels may look a little bit different than yours. That is because the POS panels are completely customizable. And if you would like to learn more about that, please continue on into our later training videos. Or if you have any questions, please relay them to your onboarding manager. Thank you very much.